Hello, I'm Officer Ceballos with the Midland Police Department. I am a recruiting officer. This video is to guide you and help you fill out the personal history statement. We have had many applicants who, when filling it out, make mistakes, which may delay your process or disqualify you during the process, so I want to help you fill it out. When filling out this packet, there's 3 things I need you to do. Number 1, on the bottom right for every single page, you're gonna have to initial. So from the beginning of page 1 to page 40, as you're going through the packet, make sure you initial each page on the bottom right. Number 2, I need you to fill this packet out handwritten with either blue or black pen, not green, not red, not pink. Strictly either blue or black pen. Number 3, I need this packet to be filled out by you and you only. Not your girlfriend, not your mom, not your grandpa, not your father. It needs to be handwritten. If it's handwritten by anybody else, if it's another color that is not blue or black, you will be disqualified. Along with your packet, there's certain documents that we need you to submit. Some of them may not pertain to you, so let's say you have not been in the military, you do not need to get a DD 214. If you have your GED, provide a copy of your certificate. Starting with the first bullet point, we will need a copy of your high school diploma, high school transcript, or GED. When providing a copy of your diploma, if you're not able to provide a copy and you only have the original, you can submit your original one, we'll make a copy of it, and then we'll give you back the original. We will need a copy of all college degrees. If you got an associate's from one college and a bachelor's from another, we will need a copy of all of them. Again, if you only have the original, you can submit the original, we'll make a copy of it, and then we'll provide you the original back. Next, we will need a certified transcript from all colleges and universities. Must still be in sealed registrar envelope. What does that mean? When you are requesting the transcript from your college or whichever online website is able to send your transcript, we need that transcript to be sent to us physically, and it has to be sealed, okay? It cannot be a transcript that you already have ordered before and it's open and you have a copy. You need to make sure that you order a brand new one to the address of the Midland Police Department, refer to the recruiting department, and it has to be sealed. And it must be the official transcript, not the unofficial. Next, we will need a copy of all marriage certificates, copy of all divorce decrees, copy of all current child custody agreements. If you've been in the military, and then we will need a copy of your DD 214 long form. We need an official state copy of your birth certificate or vital statistics. So we need, of course, the original one. We don't need a copy. So you will submit the original one, we will make a copy of it, and then we will return you your original one. Next, we will need a copy of your driver's license, copy of your social security card, naturalization papers, any law enforcement training certificates, and copy of vehicle insurance. With these documents, of course, if it pertains to you, provide those documents. If they do not provide them. Page 1, you will need to provide a photo, which has to be at least 2 by 3 inches. What is a professional photo? It could be a passport picture that you put on the packet, or you could also just have a friend take a picture of you that covers your shoulders and your head. With page 2, you will have some disqualifying instructions. Page 3, make sure to fill out your name, the date on which you filled out the packet, and then we do give 2 weeks exactly for you to do this packet. If you bring it the day of your testing, in which you're gonna do your PT test and your written exam, that is also acceptable. Which page 4 is pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna fill out your name, your date of birth, your address. One thing that I do wanna point out in page 4 is social media accounts. With social media accounts, you have to provide the platform. So if it's Facebook, Instagram, and you also have to provide your username. With social media accounts, we count things as Facebook, Instagram, any gamer tags. So if you play PlayStation, Xbox, and you can communicate with other people, we need you to provide us with a username also. Moving on to page 5. One thing that I want to point out on page 5 is your college and high school. Even if you didn't accomplish or graduated from college, but you did go for a semester or 2, please put the information for that college and from what date to what date you attended that for that semester. Page 6 is self-explanatory. Page 7, many people have questions about the military stuff. The instructions in page 1 tells you that if something does not apply to you, to put not applicable. If you have never been a military personnel, never been part of the military, page 7 is one where the non-applicable will be acceptable. So you will have part A, part B, question 2, question 3. On the first line, you could put not applicable, and that is acceptable for our packet. When it comes to these sections, you do not have to put not applicable for every single line there. First line of the question or that certain portion is just fine. Moving on to page 8, employment history. Pretty self-explanatory. If you ever taken a polygraph or ever been fingerprinted, make sure to put that information and what date it was approximately if you do not know the exact date. Moving on to page 9, if you have applied for any other law enforcement agencies, any other departments, whether they are state or federal level departments, make sure to put that information there and at what part of the process you withdrew or you were denied on the process. In page 10, it's gonna start asking you about your employment history or about the information for, let's say, the current company you are working for, and also your previous employers that you have worked for. This is only specific to the past 10 years of your life. So let's say you have 20 years of experience working, then you would want to put just, of course, the last 10 years. When you are filling this out, try to be specific about your supervisor information. Provide as much contact information as you can and as accurate information as you can. A phone number, an email. If we, as your background investigators, are able to get this contact information, then you also should be able to. So make sure to provide this information in the proper area. If you do not have 10 years of work experience, then of course you put whatever work experience you do have. If you only have 2 years, 3 years of work experience, just put up to the amount that you do have. Page 11 is more work history stuff. Page 12, you will have questions 3 through 24, which you could answer yes or no to. If you answer yes, you are going to have to provide an explanation for these questions. In page 13, you will have that area, which is 6 lines to provide an explanation. If you need more space to provide further explanation for the questions that you say yes to, feel free to take any loose leaf paper and just fill out your explanation. Make sure you put the number of the question for which you're answering to and also the page on which that question is. Moving forward into page 14, if these questions are applicable to you, answer them. If they're not, please just answer no. Now we'll move on to the financial history. Financial history will be page 15, 16, and 17. What I want to draw your attention to is page 17. Many people struggle with it, so I want you to think of page 17 as your budget for the month. So think about your payment for a house if you have a house, a car, your Netflix account, stuff like that. Things that you need to pay on a monthly basis, you will put in this page. Make sure to be detailed about the specific amount and the account numbers and etc. Next will be social history, will be page 18 and page 19. A lot of people mess this up, so I'm going to walk you step by step. With question number 2, it says character references. Give 5 character references who are responsible adults and stable members of the community who have known you intimately for a substantial period, preferably more than 5 years. Do not use former employers, housemates, relatives, or other individuals listed elsewhere. What does this mean? So of course, if you have already put your employer in the work history part or housemates in a upcoming portion of this packet, people who you have lived with or been roommates with, or relatives, of course, family members who you already have put in another portion of this packet, you cannot use these individuals for references, okay? For page 19, moving on, you will have to put specifically social acquaintances. Give 5 social acquaintances in your own age group. They should be people who have seen you frequently during the past year. Do not use former employers, relatives, or relatives of persons listed in question number 2. So again, if these employers have already been put in the work history portion, or you're trying to put relatives who you already have put in the family portion of the packet, or these are family members, let's say a wife or a daughter or a son of somebody who you put as reference in page 18, you cannot use them on page 19, okay? When you are done with page 18 and 19, you should have a total of 10 references, and please provide direct contact information such as the phone number and email, not either or, but both. All of these 10 references should be unique, and you should not have used them in this packet yet. Moving on to the family history portion in page 20, something that I want to point out for you specifically is what is a significant relationship. To us, a significant relationship is somebody who you've been boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse for at minimum 6 months or longer. Okay. Now, we need you to provide all contact information, all information for this individual. Now, another question that we usually get a lot is, what if this person we're not in good terms, or I'm currently have a spouse, or I'm in a relationship and I don't want to stir the pot up? Well, we need you to provide whatever information you do have without getting yourself in trouble or having to contact this person. So if you no longer have a phone number or an email, maybe a social media account, or whatever best information you can provide for us. If you have any questions about that, please just send me an email. Moving into page 21, it's very self-explanatory. You're gonna provide father, stepfather, mom's information. Moving into page 22, you're gonna have some siblings, in-laws. Page 23, you're gonna have children if you have any. If it's not applicable, then of course put not applicable. Moving into residence history in page 24. For the next couple of pages, I need you to provide every single address in which you have lived in, whether it's been in another state, in another country, if you were part of the military and you were deployed to Japan or Peru, provide the military base in which you stayed in during your duty time. With family stuff, parents move around, grandparents, whoever you live with, we need you to provide that address. If it's a P.O. box, please do not provide that address. What we need you to provide specifically is number of the house, street, town, city, state, and zip code. When you are listing all your residents, this is for all of your entire lifetime. So from the moment you were born, the address that you lived in then to the address that you live currently now, and everything in between. If you have many addresses and you need more space, please take any line paper that you have, fill out the rest of your addresses, and title it at the top, Residence History. At the bottom of page 26 and going into page 27, it says housemates. So these are people that you have lived with, and more specifically, people that you have not yet put in this package. So your mom, your dad, grandparents, sisters, brothers, these people will not count as housemates because you already have put them in the family portion. Housemates will be maybe like a friend or roommate you may have had while living in an apartment, or even including at a military base. If you haven't had any housemates, then just put not applicable. Moving into the legal and criminal history, starting at page 28, you will have the instructions. And page 29, specifically if you've been detained or arrested before, make sure to read the instructions to see if this pertains to you. You are also going to have questions in which you have to answer yes or no. Again, like previous parts in the packet, if you do provide yes to any question as an answer, please provide an explanation. If you need more space to provide those explanations, take any piece of lined paper, fill it out, title, the top, legal and criminal history, and what question specifically you are providing an explanation for. In page 30, you're going to have undetected acts. Undetected acts are going to be actions, things that you have done and nobody else has known about these actions. You're going to have about 62 examples in which you are going to answer if you have done these things yes or no. If you do say yes, provide an explanation for it. Again, if you need any extra space, take any piece of lined paper, provide the explanation, make sure to title it on the top, Undetected Act, and provide the number question for which you are providing the explanation for. Moving into motor vehicle history, starting in page 33. It's going to ask you what states you have been licensed in. If Texas, let's say, has been the only state you have been licensed in, that's the only thing you're going to provide. The rest, you can leave it blank. If you have been licensed in other states, please provide that information. In page 34, you're going to have more driver's history information. It's very self-explanatory. In page 35, I want to point you specifically to question 16, which states list all traffic citations, excluding parking citations that you have received in your lifetime. Many people have questions about tickets they may have received 10, 15, 20 years ago, and they don't know the exact details of. What we say to that is provide as specific detail as you remember. So if you could provide the town in which you received the ticket, the department, whether it was a state trooper or a police department or a sheriff's office, whoever did issue the ticket, please provide the department. If you can provide the officer's name, please do. Provide as much information as you can regarding the situation to the best of your memory. Moving into the narcotic and alcohol history in page 37. Many individuals always have questions about this, and this is kind of like the elephant in the room page when it comes to the packet, because nobody ever wants to be disqualified for narcotics. And usually people tend to hide or lie about it. My answer to that is to be as truthful and as honest, not just in this portion, but in the entire packet. We are not looking for perfect people, but individuals who are honest and have integrity. Okay, so when filling this portion out, let's say you have done marijuana 100 times, you're gonna put 100 times, the approximate last date. Let's say you can't remember the specific date, but you could provide me a month and year, that works just fine. So let's say the actual date was September 15, 2020, but you don't remember the exact date, you can put September 2020, and that will suffice as an answer for that portion. Methods of use, whatever methods you use to use a narcotic, please provide that. Moving into page 38, you're gonna have further questions regarding narcotic and alcohol history. Again, you're gonna have questions where you may need to answer yes or no, and if you answer yes, provide explanation for those questions. Page 39, it is very self-explanatory. And at this point, we're pretty much at the end. Once you're done with the packet, in page 40, you have to get it notarized. What most people do is wait until the testing date. There'll be notaries there, and we can notarize it for you. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it helped you fill out the packet. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me on my email, and I look forward to working with you.